Hello everyone. How are you guys doing? We want to go ahead and thank all of you for subscribing.
Yes,
We
thank you.
did make a promise that when we reached 3,000 subscribers, we would tell a personal manifestation story. And this is just with the intention of motivating you guys and, so that you guys are well aware that if it happens to people like us, it happens, manifestations happen all the time.
Yes, it does.
Okay? So, we were wondering where we were going to record. So we said we're going to go to one of our favorite spots, a favorite place where we find and have an awesome friend known as the California Beach. So here we are in one of our favorite spots, Newport Beach, California. Home sweet home. Okay, this is a story that happened to me many years ago, okay, without knowing. All I could describe it as my wish come true. Years ago, my mom and I were sitting down while one of her friends at home, at the living room area, and one of her friends comes and visits her, and they started talking, and I was kind of bored of just sitting there listening to them, but I was just kind of eavesdropping, okay, what they were saying. And one of those conversations was, doctors make a lot of money. Huh? Yes, doctors make a lot of money. That's what, my mom's friend and my mom herself were talking about. So I immediately said to myself, I want a doctor as a boyfriend, and I'm going to marry him. And, that's a great thing that they make a lot of money. Oh my goodness. Wow. So, from then on, my story was, I am going to meet a doctor and I'm going to marry him and I'm going to live happily ever after. Okay, that was my Prince Charming. Okay, I would tell this to my friends. My friends, some of them would just think I was crazy. Others would believe me, and I kept going. Life was fun. I was still in high school at the time when I was repeating this to myself over and over. When I was about 16, 17 years old, my mom got sick, okay, and it was only my mother, my father, and myself. Remember, that lady that I heard the conversation from was my mom and her friend. They were talking about doctors. I don't know what prompted that conversation, but I heard it from them, that doctors made a lot of money. So I wanted a doctor. I had never had a boyfriend, didn't even know what that was. All I knew was whatever I would see on television, those soap operas, those movies, those romantic movies. I kept repeating that I would have a boyfriend and that I would marry a doctor. Okay. Time goes by, as I mentioned. My mom gets sick. By then, I'm 19 years old, okay? And she has to be admitted into a hospital, precisely not far from here in Newport Beach, California. And I was there in the hospital. It was during the summer, the month of June, as a matter of fact. And I am there, just in the hospitals, spending days and hours, very long hours and days, just so my mom wouldn't feel alone while she's getting all these tests done and all this treatment, okay? I would practically live at the hospital, and so would my dad. And in one of those days, I bump into a young man, who is wearing regular clothes, okay, just slacks and a t-shirt. Um, Very good looking, with a beautiful sounding, delicious, nice, cute, everything you can think of, Indian accent English, okay? Later on I find out he is a doctor, young doctor, okay? But then he was about 28 years old, okay? I was about 19-ish, almost 20. Okay, so I meet this cute man, and without me even realizing, this was my manifestation. At the time, I didn't even know what manifesting meant till later on. I would just call it my miracles, okay? When I get home, I just couldn't stop thinking of his beautiful Indian eyes, dark hair, tall, beautiful nose. I mean, you know, when you fall in love, everything seems beautiful of that person.
Mm-hmm.
So there it was. The universe had put everything together so I could meet this doctor, because where else would I have met a doctor? It wasn't going to be at home. We didn't really know doctors, only the ones that we would visit. Young doctor who had just immigrated from India and was already working here in the United States and was planning to stay because he had fallen in love with the California climate. I don't blame him. My state is beautiful, as you can see. Look at that. This is our backyard, the beautiful Pacific Ocean. Okay, so anyways, going back to my story, my mom was a very Catholic person, so she would have always a candle. Here's a manifestation tool that all of us can use. Candles, okay? The use of candles. I would remember that my grandmother, who had already passed away years before, her picture was right next to this candle, along with crucifix and, you know, just religious pictures that my mom would believe in, okay? And I would, you know, I had a habit of saying goodnight to my grandmother before I went to bed, and the candle would be on. So I would close my eyes and I would imagine myself walking the California beaches with my doctor. And it came to pass. It came to pass. On this beach, I can say that I walked with him, talking to him, you know, and just knowing that my manifestation had come, was here. So, going back to the candles, okay, we'll be talking a little more about candles in future videos.
So stay tuned for that.
Yes, and the power of manifesting, of helping, the power they have, okay, to help you manifest.
Yes.
To help you boost your power up and manifest, okay? Also, the fragrances of especially roses, the fragrance of roses, okay? Very highly fragrances that help you attract.
Right.
Okay, so I remember that I had this perfume of roses, nothing expensive, you know, and I would put it on and I would say, this one is going to bring my doctor with me, okay? But that's actually going a little further back and going back to the point or the time I met my doctor. You know, I bumped into him because he was opening the door to me and I happened to step on him. That's how I bumped into him. We started talking and he found out that my mom was there. We talked and talked, and then again, about a week or two, I see him again. We start talking, you know, how are you? Doing good. How are you? Doing good. He knew the doctors that were taking care of my mom. So, you know, that helped out, I guess. You know, I don't know. It was just a series of events that start popping up for us to be together, for my manifestation to come to pass, for my manifestation to be right in front of me. And he was very handsome. He was tall, beautiful eyes that to this day I still remember, especially me being here in this beach that witnessed us holding hands and walking through the sand precisely of this beach in Southern California. Okay, so time went by. Unfortunately, my mom did not make it. You know, she passed on. So it was only my dad and I. I still had my friend. I will keep his name. I won't mention his name to preserve his, to respect him. How's that? Yes, to respect him, you know. He is now a married man to someone else. I know, I did not get to marry him. But you know, what I'm trying to tell you here is that the universe did everything I asked him in my prayers, in my affirmations, in my beliefs. It was I that decided to go elsewhere. And the reason was that I was too young. My dad told me that I was way too young to be thinking of marriage, because there was a moment when my young, handsome doctor asked me. And now, as time went by, I appreciated even more. It says, you know, it tells me it was a heavy, strong love that he must have felt for me. And it's not that I did not fall in love with him. I did. Remember, this was the first boyfriend that I could ever call, oh yeah, he's my boyfriend, you know, type of thing. So I was in cloud 9, living in the cloud of love. But he even asked me that if I were to accept to marry him, we could even marry through the Christian church, which, as we all know, you know, Christianity involves Catholicism. We all, you know, that's belonging to the Abrahamic religions. And we could also marry through his religion. That would satisfy his parents, and that would satisfy my family, my father, in this case, my father. Oh my goodness, I was happy and excited. But when I told my dad, he said, nope, you're way too young and I want you to go to school. So I was so afraid of losing my father that I had to say goodbye to this loved one. And I've regretted it. But again, what I am trying to tell you guys, all of you, is that we can take other roads to manifest what we want. You know, we don't have to follow the road of, oh, this is my destiny. Oh, this is what is meant to be. We can take the road of, I want to manifest whoever or whatever I want. I wanted to manifest a doctor, and I did. I just let go, because at the time I listened to my dad and to my father. I've regretted it, and I haven't. Weird, huh? I've regretted it because, yeah, this is what I wanted and this is what the universe gave me. And the other side of the coin is I don't regret it because I listened to my father, and that was important for me at the time as well. But it can all be possible if you put and set your mind to just believe what your heart truly wants. Okay?
Now, I have a quick question, Mom.
Sure.
What would you do today if you wanted to manifest him right now?
Okay. Well, it would be great because he will always be a major part of me. But I understand he is married. He has a wonderful, wonderful family. And I would not, it's different times. And I would not, it has not crossed my mind. I want him to be happy. He was always a gentleman with me. That's why I so much love the Indian culture. I'm not saying that I do not like other cultures. I very much love them and respect them. I love other cultures, especially learning and tasting their verse and their food and diversity. Definitely, it's just wonderful. But there's something dear and close to my heart about India, and it takes me back to that manifestation of that doctor. I manifested, like I said, a wonderful human being, someone who was willing to marry outside of his culture because he fell in love with me and I fell in love with him. But as I said, I was way too young, according to my father's words. And yes, that was the case. Indeed, it was the case. But no, I don't think that I would move him from where he's enjoyed. I'm believing and I'm hoping that he has enjoyed his life, and I'm sure that he is, and that he's happy. That's my prayer, and that's what I imagine being my manifestation for him, to be happy, because he was always a gentleman. He was always a special person and will always be a special person. It is all possible, my friends.
Yes.
Whatever the situation is, you can reach your manifestation if you only believe.
Exactly.
Thank you. Thank you again. With this story, I don't tell it too often because it's a mixture of good and nostalgic emotions. But I'm telling it to you now. It all is possible if you believe, if you set your mind, and if you set the right vibration to make it happen. Okay, so from a beautiful spot here in sunny Southern California,
Yes.
we know that you guys are strong co-creators. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you.
Thank you, soul creators.
Yes, we are celebrating 3,000 subscribers. So thank you. Thank you for your support. Keep watching our videos. Subscribe, like us.
And subscribe and comment down below on how your manifestations are coming along.
Yes, we pray that your manifestations come to pass ASAP.
Yes.
Namaste.
Namaste.